Syria's new leaders have a massive Israel problem on their hands. The de facto leader of the military offensive that toppled the 53-year Assad dynasty, Mohammed Al-Jolani, has offered opposing and at times confusing statements on Israel and Palestine in the past. So will we get any more clarity as the Syrian civil war comes to an end, but Israel's occupation of Syrian territory continues? Al-Jolani's history would pit him against Israel. Although he now wants to be known by his birth name, Ahmed al-Sharaa, he is popularly known by his nom de guerre, Al-Jolani, which literally means from Golan, the Syrian territory which Israel has occupied since 1967. Here he is speaking to PBS a few years ago.
لكن جدي يعني أبو والدي هو نزح من الجولان في سنة 67 بعد دخول الجيش الإسرائيلي الصهيوني إلى المنطقة.
Al-Jolani says he was politicized by the Second Intifada in Palestine as a young man in his 20s and later joined the Mujahideen in Iraq, working alongside Daesh leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi before going to Syria to set up an Al-Qaeda branch there known as Al-Nusra Front. In anonymous interviews while leader of Al-Nusra, he told Al Jazeera that Shia Muslims were ideologically hostile to Israel, but also that Israel and Hezbollah had shared goals.
كذلك لبنان، هل من المعقول أن يغض الطرف النظام الدولي أو اليهود عن مجاورتهم لحزب الله ويشكل عليهم خطر؟
حزب الله لا يشكل خطر على اليهود.
حزب الله يعني هو يلتقي معهم في مصالح كثيرة جدا.
Al-Jolani split from Al-Qaeda in 2016 because he wanted to focus on Syria and create a jihadist movement that would be more amenable to regional powers. He formed Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, ditched the uniform of global jihad for khakis, and started to appear more openly on camera and in public. He continued, however, with the rhetoric of taking Jerusalem from Israel.
بإذن الله لا نصل فقط دمشق، بل إن القدس تنتظرنا بإذن الله تعالى.
His rhetoric has softened markedly in recent years. As HTS became the leading group in the Syrian opposition, they also became a lot closer to Turkey. And with their guidance, Al-Jolani cultivated an image of a measured, politically astute and pragmatic leader. This is part of the reason that, despite Israel invading Syrian territory and launching hundreds of airstrikes since the fall of Bashar al-Assad, Al-Jolani's rhetoric towards Israel has been extremely conciliatory. In an interview with the Times of London, published on the 16th of December, he said he didn't want war with Israel and wouldn't allow Syria to be used as a launchpad to attack Israel, while also calling on Tel Aviv to respect Syria's sovereignty and adhere to international law. But the main reason for this step down in rhetoric is that Al-Jolani and Israel share regional military objectives. The HTS leader recently said his only enemies were Assad, Iran and Hezbollah. So despite his youthful allegiance with the Palestinians, the reality is that he is in opposition to the axis of resistance, Hamas, Hezbollah and Iran, which is the only military resistance to Israel's genocide in Gaza and the occupation of Palestine that exists. The coalition of groups that have taken over Syria have rightly said that their primary goal is to rebuild the country and take care of the beleaguered population's immediate needs. But once the dust has settled, how will the new leaders position themselves given Israel's genocide of Palestinians in Gaza and expansion of settlements in the Golan Heights?